Thank you everyone for signing up and being a part of this first community sessions. I thought it'd be good to just share like the reason and the heart behind it kind of thing. And so I just kind of felt like when it came to like Black and neurodivergent individuals, in terms of community, that was one thing, just the need for that, but then also skills and just things to help support one. And when it came to like ChatGPT and AI, I felt like that was such a big help, especially for like neurodivergent individuals. And we have the wonderful Tara here today, who's really skilled and is just an expert in this stuff. And yeah, we're really privileged today to be able to have her to just like walk us through it, give us some tips, give us some tricks. Yeah, but even before I hand off, I thought that with the people who are online, let me see if I can.
First of all, I want to say thank you so much, Shay, for inviting me to deliver this very quick rapid fire workshop. I was very excited, as you may recall, when you asked me to. So I just want to do a very brief intro as to who I am. So I am an AI workshop leader and speaker. I've got a lot of experience in marketing. I've got a digital marketing background, worked in tech, which made sense when AI just said, hello, we're available for everyone. I thought I'd jump on that. And I really enjoy creating workshops and anything that will just help absolute beginners, especially in the professional field, but you can use AI for personal life as well. And I just want to make things really easy because it's the first time we have an immersion tech that anybody can use because it's using natural language, the way we speak. You don't have to be a coder. So oh, that didn't work out well. I wanted to share, now hold on, let's get her front and center. I wanted to share one of the reasons why I got very excited about being able to deliver a workshop for neurodivergent people because this is my daughter on the left here. Her name is Kiana, and it's been over the past 3 years, she's been developing her journey in understanding her autism and ADHD. And I've become reformed from, why are you not understanding what I'm saying? It makes perfect sense. And she's looking at me like, mate, what are you saying? Which will lead into something that I'm going to talk about a bit later on. So as a neurotypical, I am a strong, firm ally for neurodivergent people. But let's just jump in because we don't have very long. This is a rapid fire, but you will have lots of resources that you can just continue this for many hours to come. What I'd like you to do is to just take a screenshot to get this QR code because we're gonna just have a look at what we think about ChatGPT. So I will also go onto my other screen. I'm not used to presenting in Zoom. So bear with me as I jump back and forth, but you should be able to see, do you see, Shay and Abigail, what words come to mind when you think of ChatGPT? Do you see that?
Yeah, it loaded up for me.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
So if you could just type in 3 words that that comes to mind when you think about ChatGPT, and I'll actually present that now. So let's see. I can do it. Oh, having fun and games here. Bear with. Let me bring it back here.
Very good.
Okay, so you should now. Okay, so I can see that we've got AI, tech, robots. I love that. The robots are coming. So I know we don't have many of us here now, but I'm just going to move on, but this is great. And it's interesting, as I mentioned before, tech is, normally not accessible to everyone, but with AI, it certainly is. So if we move on to the next one, you should see on your screen, I believe ChatGPT can help me with. Do you see that? And then what I'm asking is if you could just select the ones, you can select multiple if you like as well, just so we get an idea of what you believe ChatGPT can help you with. a little bit bigger so I can see. Brilliant.
Loading. Yeah, there we go.
Brown. Okay, so I'm just looking at my other monitor, so forgive me for not looking directly at the camera, but I can see we've got organizing thoughts and ideas and communicating more clearly. Got more for that. One's for everything else. Not sure what it can help me with yet, which we will go through today, which would be great. And of course, learning and understanding complex information and managing tasks. Yes, one of my favorites. So with that, I think we should move on. I just want to get a rough idea of how everyone feels and how they're thinking about ChatGPT. So I'm going to bring us back. All this screen jumping around. Let's see. Bring us back here. What I want to do is now just really just jump straight into a demo. So I'm not even going to put on the with me. I've jumped around too many. I want to pull up ChatGPT and just give you some ideas of how we can use it. So, whoops, I didn't, oh, you're still there. I thought I closed out completely. Right. So you should be able to see my screen now and see ChatGPT. What are they saying? This is something you will have access to. There will be a resource, but again, this was something that was inspired by my daughter. She came to me often and just said, I've just received this email. What are they saying? And so I want to show you the power of ChatGPT. This is called a custom GPT, and you will all have access to this. And I'm just going to walk you straight into a demo. And basically, when you click on let's, help me is basically what we're saying, starting this, you'll get a series of questions. Okay. So here I'm going to pop in a really long email, which I think we can all agree that we know somebody who sends us this really long email. It's just a wall of text, and we're just like, ugh, you're really busy, you haven't got time to go through each one. Or sometimes it could just be very ambiguous. Sometimes the person thinks that they're being very clear and they're not. So you get, once you pop it into what are they saying, this custom GPT, you can then interact with the actual email by just pressing a number. So I always want to know questions first. So the first thing I want to know is what are the questions in there. So I'll just put in number 2, and this custom GPT will just tell me what questions there are that are inferred and which ones are stated. So you can see here, what was stated was something related to the strategy review, but the others are inferred. And this is where I think it can sometimes get tricky. Sometimes there are just hidden meanings and questions in there. So this is really good. This is now making me think, okay, I've got an idea of some of the questions that are in there that might be for me. I can answer all of these because it's my job, so I'll do that. And then the next thing I tend to want to know is, well, what do I have to do? What are the actions for me? This is my boss asking me something, so I'll just put in 3 because I want to know the action points, and then ChatGPT is going to tell me what they are. A little bit slow today. Come on, let's go. And so it's telling me really clearly that these are things that I have to do. And I just think, brilliant. So now I've got an idea of the questions that are in there. It's quite brief. There's a couple of emojis there. I love my emojis. It helps me to visualize. And I think, from when I've spoken to other neurodivergent people, they like a bit of visualization to help. So that should be handy. So I've got the idea now of what questions are in there, and I know what some of the actions are. And we all know what's really important is to work out when we've got to do it. So I'm going to put in 3 because that's going to be dates and times. And it will just list out some dates and times. In this case, it hasn't got any specific dates, which is a problem for me. If there's not something specific, so I know we've got Wednesday, this just makes me think, well, my boss hasn't communicated with me very well. So I need to go back and say, brilliant, you want this feedback? on these revisions? When do you want it by? Because it's really important that we have deadlines. Now, I'm someone who doesn't like to use ChatGPT to write for me, but I always like suggestions. But I've included in here, so I'm going to type in 3, so it will now say this is a suggested reply. Okay, now it's given me some dates and times, which is a little bit, I don't know why it did that. Let's try again. Maybe I pressed the wrong button. I did put 3. And this is another thing, ChatGPT may get it wrong, so you just try again. Okay, so it's suggesting a summary. So now it's gone a bit AWOL, which I'm so glad it's doing that. It's now giving me the summary rather than what I asked for. So now I'll just type in, give me a suggested reply. And this is something to note when you're using ChatGPT, just make sure that if it goes AWOL, don't give up. Just speak to it like you would speak to your co-worker. That's not what I asked for. Can you try again? I think that will be really helpful. And you can see here, here's a suggested reply. And this is something that I like personally. I like to have an idea of how I should reply, and then I go, brilliant, and then I'll go and type it. But if you want to actually see the reply, you can see here, what would you like to see? Would you like to see an example in a reply format? So it's actually saying, do you want me just to write it for you? You could just say yes, because then you can just copy, paste it in, and always edit it. So this is a reply that you can give to your director. So I just want to jump back because I know this is very whistle stop us going through this, and I just want to get some feedback from everyone as to what they think of this. So if anybody wants to come on camera and give any feedback on what they think of this, that would be great. Anybody there? If not, I can go into the next
5
part.
of us, including the speaker.
Hello? No, maybe not. Okay. Shay, did you have any thoughts on
Yeah,
that?
sure. It looks super helpful. I was just wondering when it comes to like the time of like putting in the prompt, like, is there any like, is it like a time consuming thing? Like to put in the prompts to get it to this end result? And also like, how can you remember, what are good ways to remember the things that you need to do? To get that like that email that you've just that email that we have here.
To answer the first question, yeah, creating a custom GPT, it's very, very simple to do. And I can actually show
You can
you.
take one, they are free.
Oh, I can actually show you as well. But you do need to be on the plus plan. So if you're on a free plan, it won't work. But I'm going to show you behind the scenes of this custom GPT. There's no coding involved at all. I'm telling it, giving it instructions. I'm saying, whenever I type something in, ask me for the email. And you can see it here, I won't go into too much detail, but it's just putting things in an order. And the good news is you can use ChatGPT to do this. So you could create a custom GPT by having a set of instructions. And when it doesn't work, you just go into ChatGPT and say, I'm trying to create this and I want this to work each time, but every time it's not giving me a suggested reply. How can I make this a bit clearer? But as you can see, it is a bunch of text, and there's always upfront work whenever you're working, with AI in order or automation. You always have to spend a little time to create something that is going to make things so much easier every time you need to use it. So I would say there's a little bit of upfront work, and this is why I really enjoyed creating this, because it's something you can just use straight away. And then a little trick for everyone: when you use this, you can actually, when you're using it, you can say, what are your instructions? And it will tell you, and then you can recreate it yourself and make it the way that you want.
No, it's really interesting. I didn't know you could do that because I guess it saves you the time from each time having to tell it, oh no,
Yes.
do that, do this. If it or sorry, if it always has these instructions, like
Yeah.
knows what you want. Okay.
Exactly. And you can use it with anything really. If you're having an argument with someone on WhatsApp, you export their chat and then put it in there, and just it helps you to understand, well, what are they saying? What are their perspectives? And then you can tweak it a little bit. So I just wanted to see if we wanted to have a play around with it, because I think it'd be really important. Let me just bring us back. Bear with me. So just gone through the demo. So you will be able to see two QR codes hopefully on the screen. We're not going to have time to go through the next one. I see a typo, put resource 1 twice, but if you look at the orange at the top, resource 1, what are they saying? We can spend maybe, how much time have we got? Maybe 5 minutes of just having a play around with it. And you can take, if you don't have any email nearby, I can give you, well, actually, you can just go to any blog post and put it in and do the same thing, just so you can have a play around. Now, if you're on your phone, you will need to take a photo of this. And especially if you're on the iPhone, you can just press and hold down and it will take you straight to the link. Because I think, hi, Deborah, I think Deborah and Patience may be on a phone. If not, I can get you the, which might be better, I can get you the actual link to it. Let me just get that now.
I just want to use my Google Lens to open it. So I hope that works.
Okay. In case it doesn't, it will, I've just popped it in the chat as well. So I think what would be good is if we could spend maybe 4 minutes, just so we've got time to also wrap up. And I'm here as well. If you're using it and you want any advice or something's not working, or if it's not doing the right thing, just let me know. I will also count down when we get to 1 minute to go. I will count down. So I know we're going to be at time soon. So perhaps we can have a little chat about how that went, or what you thought about using it, how you felt using it. Anybody want to share?
I'm happy to share.
Yeah.
I thought it was really interesting how I used numbers to know the different things that I needed to do. Yeah, no, I just thought that was really interesting. And even like I've never thought to use ChatGPT to kind of break something down or to try and understand a piece of text. I think that will definitely come in handy for me.
Yeah. I think there are many different ways, and this is what I think is really good about AI, and especially ChatGPT, is you can make it how you want it. So for example, my daughter definitely needs a lot of emojis everywhere. It just helps signpost her. I personally prefer just to have that to be able to write it, freestyle write it. And you might prefer to just say, I just want to, hit a number, just so we can get everything moving quickly. So yes. I mean, I think what's going to be really important is, as you're learning ChatGPT, because obviously you can't learn everything in a very short space of time, but as you're learning ChatGPT, you can make it work for the way that you want it to work. So it's all about going in and having a play around. So I just want to make sure that everybody gets access to the resource. So let's just go back a bit. If you grab this QR code, and I can share this presentation here with you afterwards, so that everyone can receive this, so you have access to everything. But I'll just share with you what you will be getting. Okay, so this is what you'll all get access to. You can just click on this button, download, and you'll have it. But there are various ways that you can use it in your day-to-day life, from collecting your thoughts, or being able to just dump your thoughts and have ChatGPT organize it. Really important if you like it. But if you just wanted to speak freely without having to type, just use the audio function. You can just talk away. And there's quite a few different things in here. I've put in here rephrasing, making something sound a little bit nicer, because sometimes my daughter will say, I just need this. I'm just going to tell them that's what I want. I'm like, you might need to put a little bit of a please and thank you and something there. So you can say it however you want it, and then just say to ChatGPT, yeah, my manager likes all this fluffy stuff, so make it sound nicer. And yeah, just lots in there. So I'll just encourage you to have a look and dive in. And also I provided an access to my prompts library. Again, this is a very quick workshop, so I just want to give you as many resources as possible, but these should come in really handy. There are 22 prompts in there. Don't feel as if you need tons, because once you start using them, you will come up with some ideas of how you can create your own. And I really encourage you just to jump in and have a play around with them, because that's the way that you will get the most out of ChatGPT. Any questions? I think they're shy today, Shay.
Well, feel free to put it in the chat and I can read it out.
Yeah,
Okay, Deborah's got her hand up.
go for it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hi, can you
hello?
hear me?
Yeah,
Yes, I can hear you.
Excellent. Thank you for that presentation. I'm sorry I missed the opening parts of it, but I did enjoy what I got out of it. What I've found with using ChatGPT, because I do use it a lot, what I've found is that sometimes some of the results given, okay, now we're talking about breaking down emails and stuff like that, so this is rather specific, but I just wanted to know if you can shed some light on how I can personally verify the information that ChatGPT gives me, because I've had issues where I've received information or responses and they have not been verifiable.
Yes.
So do you have any insights on how this can be done? How can you be sure that the responses you get from ChatGPT are actually authentic responses?
Yeah, so this is a term called hallucination, and it's based on the fact that the way generative AI works, it's only predicting the next word. So if you're asking it for something and it can't find it or it doesn't have it, it will make it up, and it's called hallucination. And the way to verify the information is to make sure we remember we're the humans, and there's a term called human in the loop. We should be checking them ourselves. So and then there's something to be said as well. ChatGPT is just one tool, and there are many others. For example, I'd highly recommend Perplexity, because you can do research in Perplexity, get the source files, so the links to the, where it's getting this information from, and visually very quickly check it yourself. I always say use ChatGPT more for the ideation, getting your thoughts out, for ideas on how you can approach something. But if you're doing research work and you want to quote a statistic or anything like that, then I would use a different tool. We have to remember generative AI is predicting everything. So any tools out there that can help back up what it's saying is going to be really, really key. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it has. Thank you very much.
No problem. Do you use Perplexity, Shay? Have you
I've
used
never had Perplexity before. I'd probably say my knowledge of ChatGPT has been quite basic, and mostly just using it for like emails, like maybe to draft them. Didn't know I could use them to actually like interpret or understand them. So
Okay.
definitely going to be using this.
Then what I'll do is I'll quickly update that file and include Perplexity, and I'll also include a couple of others so that everyone can have a look around, because I think if we're only using ChatGPT, we will get a bit stuck. It's good for some things, but it's the same way if you want to do your budget, you're not going to use Word, are you? You're going to use Excel. So we have to do the same when it comes to generative AI. Any other questions? What's anything else in the chat?
Yes, I have my hand up again.
Great. Oh, okay, go for it.
All right. So I actually got the link for this meeting, the connect for this meeting through Shay's dad. We work at the same university.
Nice.
Yes, we work at the same university, and I use ChatGPT a lot in writing content for social media, in writing articles and things like that. I just dump all my ideas in there, and then it just
Nice.
nicely puts everything back together. So it works nicely for me. But I always go over everything it has written and put myself into it. So
Of
it's not
course.
just the words generated by ChatGPT. Everything it writes for me, I would go back over it and put myself into it. Now, because I work in a university, there's a lot of scholarly paper writing and all of that. We find that students use ChatGPT a lot,
Mm.
and then they produce all of this information, which is not so fantastic academically. So I was wondering, is there a better tool? There must be a better tool that can help with academic research writing.
For academic research, did you say?
Yes,
So-
academic research. So rather than the generic, okay, I've put a topic in and ChatGPT is just guessing and sourcing information here and there. I'm looking for if there is such a tool that can actually give you the actual academic papers that have been written by other people. I get information from there rather than what ChatGPT does most of the time, which is just guess.
Yes.
Is there
two tools?
I don't know if you understand my
I've got
question.
two.
Okay, great. Oh,
Two.
fantastic. Okay, thank you.
Perplexity, again, it has
I've written that down. I've written it down. I'll be looking into it.
Perplexity.ai. It has a section in there called academic. If you just leave it as it is, then you won't see it. You literally need to click somewhere and it will say academic.
Okay.
But for research at university level, try Julius. It's called Julius. I don't know if it's Julius AI or, but I helped somebody to do some
Julius
research.
as in Caesar?
Julius AI, it's called.
You mean Julius as in Julius Caesar? Is it that same word?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, great. Okay.
And that's really I think I'll have to double check because it might be more for analyzing data from your research, but for research work, that's what I've recommended. And then if you're doing a lot of research, I'd also recommend GenSpark as well. Again, everything that I'm saying, I will put somewhere so that Shay can share this with everyone as well. But GenSpark is another one, and I'm trying to remember what the actual, if it's AI or what is it called? Yeah, it's genspark.ai. So you got perplexity.ai, julius.ai, and genspark.ai.
GenSpark. Okay, that's beautiful. Thank you very much.
No problem. No problem at all.
So as mentioned, I will send like a handout with all of these things, but thank you so much, Tara, for just leading us so well. And thank you to everyone as well who's joined today. Just keep an eye out. There'll be like more sessions on other topics and other things. It'd be great to have you there. But yeah, we'll finish off.
Brilliant. Thank you for having me once again. And thank you everyone for participating. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. I'll end it
Have
here.
a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.